Hey, so it's Ryan Glover. In this video, we're going to do Act 1, Scene 1 of Shakespeare Julius Caesar. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Flavius Morellus, a carpenter, a cobbler, and certain other commoners over the stage. Flavius. Hence, home, you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? What know you not? Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession. Speak, what trade art thou? Carpenter. Why, sir, a carpenter. Morellus. Where is thy leather apron and thy rule? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You, sir, what trade are you? Cobbler. Truly, sir, in respect of a fine worksman, I am, but as you would say, a cobbler. Morellus. But what trade art thou? Answer me directly. Cobbler. A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls. Morellus, what trade, thou knave? Thou naughty knave, what trade? Cobbler, nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me yet. If you be out, sir, I can mend you. Morellus, what meanst thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow. So, the breakdown, what that means. Act 1, Scene 1. Flavius Morellus enter and speak to a carpenter, cobbler, and some other commoners. Flavius, get out of here. Go home, you lazy man. What is today, a holiday? Don't you know that working men are supposed to walk around on a workday without wearing their work clothes? You there, speak up. What's your occupation? Carpenter. I'm a carpenter, sir. Morellus. Where are your leather apron and your ruler? What are you doing wearing your best clothes? And you, sir, what's your trade? Cobbler. Well, compared to a fine workman, you might call me a mere cobbler, Morellus, but what's your trade? Answer me straightforwardly. Cobbler, it is a trade, sir, that I practice with a clear conscience. I'm a mender of worn souls. Morellus, what trade, boy? You insolent rascal, what trade? Cobbler, sir, please don't be angry, but if your souls are worn out, I can mend you. Morellus, what do you mean by that? Mend me, you impertinent fellow. So, I think the conversation is basically, that the job of a cobbler, Flavius and Morellus, seem they're not necessarily sure, Morellus, particularly, what the profession is or have a lot of respect for it. And he's thinking, he's trying to advance on him, I guess, because he called him saucy. So, I think that was pretty interesting. Then the next, it goes cobbler. Why, sir, cobble you? Flavius, thou art a cobbler, art thou? Cobbler, truly, sir, all that I live by is with the all. I meddle with no tradesman's matters, nor women's matters, but with all I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them as proper men as ever trod upon neat's lever have gone upon my handiwork. Fabius, but wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets? Cobbler, truly, sir, to wear out their souls, to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph. Morellus, wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome? To grace and captive bonds his chariot wheels. You block, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Oh, you had hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have set the lifelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made a universal shout? The Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores. And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holiday? Cobbler, cobble you, sir. Flavius, you're a cobbler, are you? Cobbler, say, I make my living using it all. I stick to my work. I don't meddle in politics or chase women. I'm a surgeon to old shoes. When they're endangered, I save them. The noblest men who ever walked on leather have walked on my handiwork. Flavius, but why aren't you in your shop today? Why are you leading these men through the streets? Cobbler, well, to wear out their shoes and get myself more work. Seriously, though, we took the day off to see Caesar, sir, and celebrate his triumph. Morellus, why would you celebrate it? What victory does he bring home? What foreign land has he conquered and captive foreigners chained to his chariot wheels? You blockheads, you unfeeling men, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Didn't you know Pompey? Many times you climbed up on walls and battlements, towers and windows, even chimney tops with your babies in your arms and sat there patiently all day waiting to see great Pompey ride through the streets of Rome. And when you caught a glimpse of his chariot, didn't you shout so loud that the river Tiber shook as it echoed? And now you put on your best clothes and now you take a holiday? So Caesar has just conquered the sons of his deceased enemy Pompey. He is won in a civil war, not a foreign conquest. So, and do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone, run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude, Flavius. Go, go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sword. Draw them to Tiber banks and weep your tears into this channel till the lowest streams do kiss the most exalted shores of all. Excellent carpenter, cobbler, and all the other cobblers. See whether their bases metal be not moved. They vanish tongue-tied in their guiltness. Go you down that way towards the capital. This way I disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies. Morellus, may we do so? You know, it is the feast of Lupercal. Flavius, it is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make them fly in ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness? And now you toss flowers in the path of Caesar, who comes in triumph over Pompey's defeated sons. Go home, run to your houses, fall on your knees, and pray to the gods to spare you the pain that you deserve for such ingratitude. Flavius, go, 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 good countrymen, and to make up for having done wrong, gather up all the poor men like yourselves, lead them to the Tiber, and weep into the river until it overflows its banks. The carpenter, cobbler, and all the commoners exit. Well, that ought to move even the most thick-headed of them. There they go, feeling so guilty they're now tongue-tied. They don't have a thing to say. You go down toward the Capitol, and I'll go this way. Undress the statues if they're decorated in honor of Caesar's. Can we do that? You know, it's the Feast of Lupercal. So the Feast of Lupercal is an annual celebration to honor the Roman god Lupercus, called Pan in Greek mythology. Flavius, it doesn't matter. Make sure that none of the statues are decorated in tribute to Caesar. I'll walk around and force the commoners off the streets. You do the same wherever the crowds are thick. If we take away Caesar's support, he'll have to come back down to earth. Otherwise, he'll fly too high and keep the rest of us in a state of fear and obedience. They exit in different directions. That's the end of Act 1, Scene 1. Flavius and Morellus, they're two tribunes who condemn the plebeians for their fickleness and cheering Caesar when once they cheered for Caesar's enemy Pompey. Flavius and Morellus are punished for removing the decorations from Caesar's statues during Caesar's triumphal parade. I think like Julius Caesar, he was a great Roman general, and he's recently returned to Rome after a military victory in Spain. So even though he's not the main character of the play and it bears his name, the play does not show as Caesar's point of view. Brutus has over 4 times as many lines in Julius Caesar. But I think it's a great play. If you guys would like me to read more of it, leave me a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want me to read some other Shakespeare plays or anything else in the public domain, leave me in the comments what you would like me to read. Ryan Glover, peace. Shakespeare is such incredible. Guys, thank you for checking out my video. And as a reminder, I'd like you also to check out some of my other work. I just did a music video a couple months ago called All Shiloh's Eve. It's on my YouTube page. You could search it, Ryan Glover, All Shiloh's Eve. I also do some great interviews with, some really interesting people. Like I just interviewed a plant-based chef. I interviewed the co-host of the Bible Bessie's podcast. I also interviewed a really talented gospel rapper named Amplifier, who talks about being in a home invasion. So I have a really great YouTube channel, guys. Check it out. Also be on the lookout for my book, Surviving the SAG After Strike. It's about my time, as an actor, growing up. And I also break down being on the forefront of one of the largest labor movements in the summer, which is the SAG After Strike. I was out there every day, at a certain point for volunteering, helping out as a SAG strike captain. And I really think it's a great book. It's a really good read. I'm hoping that people come out and support it. And support my music, All Shiloh's Eve. I got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm just focusing on positivity and I want to, like, put out good into the world, transmuting, like, the evil